Good morning, students. Today we are going to take up Tears, Idle Tears by Alfred Lord Tennyson, the second poem. Let's take up the introduction to the poet. Alfred Lord Tennyson was born in 1809 and died in 1892. Was the poet laureate of the Great Britain and Ireland during Queen Victoria's reign. He received his university education from Cambridge. He is considered to be a representative Victorian poet, as his poems reflect the different intellectual currents prevalent at the time. His poetry is remarkable for its musical and pictorial qualities. Even in his earliest poems, we can note his extraordinary eye for beauty. Like a true artist, he creates pictures with his use of words. He is noted for his perfection of style, mastery of language, and his command of meter. He continuously experimented with the meter and handled the English meters with great skill. Tennyson was also an expert in vividly portraying the external aspects of persons and works of art. His scientific knowledge and keen observation lent to his enriched descriptions of the nature. He is renowned for the long elegy he wrote on the death of Arthur Hallam in memoriam in 1850, and for the revival of the stories of King Arthur and his knights in Idylls of the King in 1859. His other well-known works are Enoch Arden, The Princess Maud, Ulysses, and Tithonus. Now, let's take up the present poem, Tears, Idle Tears. Before going to the text, let's discuss the poem. What about it is? Tears, Idle Tears is a lyrical poem which forms part of Canto 4 of The Princess, written in 1847. So, Tears, Idle Tears is an extract of the longer poem entitled The Princess. Princess Ida commands her maids to sing this song to pass the time as they take a break from their studies. The poem consists of 4 stanzas of 5 lines each, written in blank verse, regular metrical but unrhymed iambic pentameter lines. The poet is surprised as he cannot articulate the cause of tears that flow from his eyes as he gazes at the autumnal fields. The rich sight of ripened autumnal fields creates a longing in him for past days. The feeling of nostalgia that rises from his heart gathers into the eyes as tears. These tears are not linked to any particular memory, hence he calls them idle tears, which cannot be explained. The memories of past are so intense that they give him pleasure and pain simultaneously. Giving a beautiful analogy, he says that past memories are a source of pleasure, like the sight of the ship bringing our friends back home. At the same time, they can cause us pain, like the last glimpse of a ship carrying away our near and dear ones. The memories of past happiness are equated by the poet to the memories of kisses of a beloved who is no more or is married to someone else. The past memories are as intensely pleasurable as the first love, yet the poet is sad as he cannot bring back those happy days. Now, let's take up the text itself. The opening stanza goes like this: Tears, idle tears. I know not what they mean. Tears from the depth of some divine despair rise in the heart and gather to the eyes. Looking on the happy autumn fields and thinking of the days that are no more, fresh as the first beam glittering on a sail that brings our friends up from the underworld, sad as the last which reddens over one that sinks with all we love below the verse, so sad, so fresh, the days that are no more. These lines are extracted from Tennyson's Tears, Idle Tears. The present poem is actually an excerpt derived from Tennyson's longer poem entitled The Princess. It's pleasant to recall the happy days that are past, that have gone, but painful to think that the happy days have gone forever. They will never return. The poet's eyes are filled with tears, though he does not know the cause of his tears. The tears are perhaps due to some deep spiritual sorrow which makes him dissatisfied with his present mental state. Discontent or dissatisfaction makes him sad and full of sorrow. Tears come to his eyes. He feels like one who has lost something great and important to him. He feels as if someone very dear to him is no more or has died. He cannot explain what he has lost. His heart is filled with a strange kind of discontentment or dissatisfaction or remorse. The tears that appear in his eyes are caused by some sad, strange, heartfelt sorrow. When the poet looks at the autumn fields, he is reminded at once of the heavenly glory and splendor of the earth. But he becomes sad and sorrowful when he is reminded of the coming winter, when all the present glory and splendor of the earth will vanish or perish or will disappear. It's pleasant to recall the happy days that are past, but painful to realize that those happy days will never come back. The poet describes the memory of the past by using two similes. The memory of the past is sweet as well as sad. It's sweet because it reminds him of the past happiness. It's sad because he can never get back that happiness. The memory of the past is as sweet and pleasing as the first rays of the rising sun falling upon the sail of a ship which brings our dear friends from distant lands. It is as sad and painful as the last rays of the setting sun falling upon the sail of a ship which takes away our dear and near ones from us. Just as the disappearing of this ship below the horizon makes us very sad and dejected, so also the memory of the past makes us sad and depressed. Dear students, the poet feels melancholic, sorrowful, dissatisfied. But actually, the poet is unaware of the fact. Why is it? What's the reason behind it? His eyes are filled with tears, but tears appear automatically. He doesn't have any cause behind it. So this poem actually is the expression of the inner heart or deep felt emotions, though the cause of the tears is unknown to the poet himself. That's all for today. Have a nice day. Thank you.